so excited to share that through Executive Endurance Coaching, I've officially joined Never Second's Coach and Nutritionist program. Never Second is a science-driven performance nutrition brand built specifically for endurance athletes. I've personally been using their fueling system for years in my own training, and I love how simple, precise their approach to carbohydrate fueling is for runners, cyclists, triathletes, you name it. And today, if you want to try Never Second for yourself, our listeners can get 15% off by using the code GRIT15 at checkout. GRIT 15 at checkout. Just head to never2.com and start fueling your training with intention. This episode is brought to you by Koya Performance for Life. Koya combines wearable technology with behavioral science to help you unlock more energy and perform at the highest level. Their coaches have worked with Olympians, Super Bowl MVPs, World Series champions, and other elite performers. Their 12-week program focuses on sleep, exercise, nutrition, mindset, and recovery, blending biometric data from wearables like Oura, Whoop, or Garmin with one-on-one coaching from a team that includes a dietitian, sleep coach, movement specialist, and mental performance coach. I'll personally be participating in their March cohort and will be sharing updates with you along the way so you can hear exactly what the experience is like. Grit Files listeners today receive 33% off the program using the code AGRANDOFF. Visit koya.life to learn more. Welcome to episode 3 of the Grit Files. I'm your host, Laura Reynolds, and today it is my special privilege to introduce Morgan Knox, the producer of the Grit Files. How I was able to convince her to get on the dark side and come out from behind the camera, I have no idea. I must have gotten her in a vulnerable moment. But neither.
I think you did.
Whatever the reason, she's here, folks, and I can't wait to get into her story with you. Morgan and I talk weekly about just the evolution of, in particular, youth sports, because you're really involved in coaching and mentoring in youth sports. You also were somebody who came up in youth sports. So we talk about that, and I have a child in youth sports now. So we're just talking about the evolution of that and kind of what our take is on where things are going and maybe where they should have stayed. So Morgan, welcome to the Grit Files.
Thanks for having me on this side of the camera.
Before we start, I want to talk about the quote that's behind us for anyone who's listening today. The quote is, "Being average is something to celebrate because it's still really freaking hard." And the context to that is that when I asked Morgan to be a guest on the podcast, she was like, "I'm so average. What is going to be my story?" And I was like, can we pause for a minute? Because it is, as someone who's also incredibly average, I work my ass off and it's still freaking hard. So, you know, and I think that that's something that you see in youth sports now is that coaches are constantly saying, you know, do this to be the best, do that to be the best. And the reality is, very few are actually going to be the best. Very few are going to podium. Very few are going to win championships. So let's stop taking away from the work that we're putting in to still show up as average.
And reframe the message. Do this to be your best.
Exactly.
What's your best?
Yes,
because
exactly.
Your best and her best might not be the same thing.
And not your coach's best, not your parents' best, but like your best.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive way into that today. But I want to go further back. I want to talk about who Morgan is. You grew up in an athletic family. What did sports mean in your household before they became something that you did?
Yeah, so a little bit of background. My dad was one of 7. I grew up with around 16 first cousins, and a majority of them were athletes. So I got thrown into it at the age of 5.
It'd be a real shame if all of them were uncoordinated.
Yeah. I got thrown into it right away. That was kind of always going to be my path, which I'm not upset about. That's what I was meant to do. That's what I was meant to do. But they were basically used as a way to socialize me and help me develop skills on the field that I would need off the field later in life. You know, confidence, give me a voice, the value of hard work and that kind of thing, I think is why my dad being an athlete really pushed that message home.
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about it a million times, but your mom was really like the consistent sideline presence. She was at every game, every practice, and we'll talk later about this, but like, even when it came before her own health, she showed up at the sidelines.
Yeah.
And then your dad was kind of the presence that was the pusher. He was the one that was like, get out there and practice. You know,
he was the coach.
all of the things. So looking back now, how did those two very different forms of support shape you?
Well, when my dad was being too hard on me, my mom was there to be like, I think you did great, sweetie. So, or she'd look at my dad and be like, stop yelling at her.
Right.
Like, she's doing her best. But, you know, I think my dad was definitely more disciplinarian. I knew that there was a certain expectation there. And I knew that, you know, with him, work hard, do your stuff. That's how you stay out of trouble type of deal. And with my mom, it was like, okay, she's going to be someone I can always, you know, she'll give it to me straight, but she's always going to be there with a nice message afterwards.
Yeah.
So I kind of got a balance.
You really did. You got like the best of both worlds and like both tough in their own right, but like still maintain that balance of they still hugged you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, you still knew that no matter what, you were making them proud.
And my dad would be like, this didn't go well in a game. Let's go outside and work on it.
Right.
So I kind of had a built-in trainer.
Yeah.
Whether I liked it or not.
Yes.
There to help me succeed and be my best.
Yeah.
So
I love it. You lucked out in that regard because not everybody has that balance and it is like more hard-nosed. So I love the dynamic that you talk about between your parents. You played at Hofstra University for a lot of people that don't know. So what did college athletics teach you about yourself that youth sports really couldn't?
Oh.
Besides your incredibly difficult college coach. This is where she cuts.
No, that's okay. Everybody's got them. I mean,
yeah,
it's no secret. Yeah, I think that in college, you're really learning what the real world's going to look like. Mm-hmm. Like, you show up there, it's kind of like a job.
Yeah.
College athletics is a job. You show up, you're expected to perform. And then, you know, you have all these things that you have to do. You work on your time management, your scheduling, but like you really are. I am so glad that I had the experience that I did because it made coming out into the workforce a breeze.
Right. Like it's definitely not just about the sport.
No.
It's about the foundational skills that you end up needing in everyday life, which I think people have like gotten away from now. Is like, think about how this doesn't just impact whether or not they win this game.
Right.
But like, what skills are they developing today that they can take in when they need to ask for promotion?
Right.
Or they need to receive critical feedback.
Yeah, I definitely got a lot of that. I mean, honestly, shout out Dad. Thanks, Big Stu. You definitely helped me prepare.
We love Big Stu.
For, you know, even club. Like, I played Skywalkers, and if anybody around here knows Skywalkers, they know Mr. Mike. May he rest in peace, but he was not easy. Yeah. You know, he would pull up to a practice from the parking lot, watch a practice, just see 1 second of it and tell me I run slower than a 9-month pregnant woman. So, like, if I can handle that, I can handle anything anybody else is going to say or throw at me.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, I literally go home and be like, I want to quit. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Right.
When you're looking back at it, you're like, that was really hard, but I got through it.
Yeah.
And, like, I can handle pretty much any criticism somebody's going to give me today because I had my dad. I had Mr. Mike. I had a couple other coaches along the way. And then at Hofstra, I had who I had. So
yeah. And I think you realize, too, that more often than not, your harshest critics are the ones that care the most about whether or not you win, lose, get better. And maybe in that comment, as harsh as it was, it did cause that self-reflection of like, could I get faster? Like, right. I'm sure it did.
Or, hey, dude, I work on this 5 nights a week. Right. I'm trying here. But I will say one thing that came out of Hofstra that my coach said there, and I really have taken this with me into the business world and all of that, is listen to the message that I'm giving you and not the tone that I'm delivering it in.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're heated and you're on the field and this and that, and they're coming at you hard, like, okay, what did she say in that? She gave me a tip. Take the tip, remove the tone.
Right.
Go forward.
I mean, we just saw that a couple weeks ago in Brenda Freeze when that little clip that no one really had any context around at the time, but from an outsider's perspective, it looks like she's in her face screaming.
If you had no context, you're like, that lady's crazy.
Like, dang, dude.
Right. No.
She's trying her best, but you get the audio to that, and she's screaming, you know, I believe in you, but you have to believe in you, which you go back to what your coach said. Like, the message is, I can believe in you all that I want, but that doesn't change whether or not you succeed in this. You have to be the one to believe.
Right.
And the tone, I'm sure, was not soft, as we could see. But the message was clear. It's like, I care so much about this thing for you. I want you to care in the same way.
Right. And if they stop coaching you, then it's an issue.
Right.
Then it's an issue.
Right.
But that, right. Yeah,
so true.
I am grateful for that experience. As hard as it may have been, I got a lot of knowledge about things out of it.
And I mean, I think that that's helpful for parents today to understand too, and for kids today to understand, because I do feel like, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I do feel like in some ways this current generation is a little softer. It's more about like a soft delivery. It's more about like, oh, don't hurt their feelings. And I think that message is worth rehashing. It's like, look, if you hear me talking to your kid on the sideline and it sounds a little more heightened or it sounds a little more aggressive, best believe that it's in their best interest. Like, I'm doing this to make them better. I'm doing this so that they know how to receive feedback. Don't come running out there and be like, I think you upset them or hurt their feelings. Like, you're going to get your feelings hurt in the real world. So how else do you prepare for that than to have your feelings hurt a little bit early?
Exactly. And you and I talked about this offline a couple days ago, but like, going back to the whole, like, every kid doesn't respond to the same coaching.
Yes.
And like, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're the hardest on one kid and the easiest on the other kid.
Yeah.
You just have to know, you know, maybe not scream at them full on in front of the team because they don't respond to that. They cry, they break down. You can't do that. But I do think, you know, little by little, we do have to get these kids used to some sort of constructive criticism.
Yeah, it's just real life.
We're not helping.
And they're going to have, it's not a matter of whether or not it will happen. It's when. They will have a boss that is aggressive. They will have a boss that doesn't know how to deliver feedback in a constructive way. So they have to be prepared for if and when that happens.
Yeah.
When that happens. We're taking the if right on out.
Yeah, when. It will happen.
It's going to happen, kids. Sorry.
Exactly.
So you're better to receive it from your coach and your parents now so that you're prepared for when you receive it from the boss.
Right.
We talked about this a little bit. We don't have to name names, but you did have a tough college coach. You talk about that frequently, and a lot of us do. What's the difference between coaching that builds resilience and coaching that kind of damages confidence? Because I feel like there is a line that's kind of...
Yeah. I think it's on... Part of the coach's job is to create a community. Create a tight-knit community where the girls value each other. So I think, you know, taking a step back and being like, listen, how are we as a team going to move forward best? And I think that's uniting the team aspect.
Right.
Everybody's on the same page. Everybody is given a role. Everybody is appreciated for being there and showing up in that role. Same as in the business world, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody has a role, plays a role in something. Like, I tell my kids all the time, we don't have plays, we have sets. And within those sets on the field, everybody has to be doing something for that to work.
Right.
If we score a goal, it wasn't because the girl that scored the goal did really well. It was because everybody was doing their part that made it successful.
Yeah. And I do think people lose that sometimes. They have like the star player and that's where all the attention goes.
Yeah.
And you forget, like, no, there are so many people elevating that person in order for that goal to happen.
Yeah. And your teammates that might not be playing as much in the game because, you know, they're not as high on the depth chart, they're working their asses off at practice to make you better.
Yes.
You see them every day.
Yes.
They are working just as hard as you to be just as,
and they're
to be
usually
their
like
best.
the biggest cheerleaders for their team.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So everybody has a part. So I agree with that. Was there ever a moment in college where you questioned whether the pressure was worth it? And I'm laughing at this because I wrote this question down, but I already know the answer. I've heard this answer a million times.
Yeah. I mean, I called my parents. You can ask them. I called them plenty of times. I'm leaving. I'm
packing my bags.
Yeah.
Taking the dog.
And my dad's like, I didn't raise a quitter. No, I'm just kidding.
But seriously.
Yeah, but seriously, no, quitting's not an option. But, you know, basically the same message. You have to stick this out. You made a commitment. Like, it can only go up from here, pretty much.
Yeah.
If this is where you are thinking you're about to break, like, we raised you to, you know, show up, do your best. Like, at the end of the day, if that's not seen, you did what you could do.
Right.
to fix the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, plenty of times.
And I mean, I even have that conversation with Emmy now, and she's 8. But, you know, when she has those days where she's like, I don't want to go back to practice. I don't want to go if she loses in a game. You know, she all of a sudden wants to be done. And it's not just about like, hey, you have to finish this season out because I paid for it. It's like you made this commitment not just to you, but to your team. So if you walk, you're not just letting, you know, yourself down and it being a waste of time, money, whatever. But like you've also made a commitment to the team. So you can't just quit mid-season because you are having a hard day. Like,
right. And like what I tell my middle schoolers is like, I cut kids from being on this team so that you could be. Yeah. So you not showing up, it's disrespectful. Not just to me and my time and my efforts to grow this team, but to your teammates who are relying on you to show up and be a good teammate.
Yes. The ones that come in whining and you're like, all right, you don't want to be here? I'll take the next one that I cut.
Call mom.
That's fine.
Go there, grab your phone, call mom, tell her to come get you.
No soft delivery from Morgan.
Sorry. Yeah.
Looking back, how much of your athletic identity was yours and how much was shaped by expectations around you? Ooh. We're getting deep. This is what we do on the Grid Files.
Yeah. I think very much at first it started off with expectations. Yeah. This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. This is where we, you know, you're going to go to college for this. Right. Yes, I am. You know what I mean? Like, got it. Yeah. Like, okay, that's my option. That's my ticket, you know? But there is just something that is so rewarding about stepping onto a field and knowing that you're with some of your closest friends and you're playing hard, but you're also having fun. Like, I just think back to high school lacrosse, like, my best friends and I were all on the same team, and like we truly hung out off the field together. Like I have to tell you, that was probably my favorite lacrosse team. Yeah. My freshman, sophomore, and junior years were probably my favorite seasons of lacrosse.
Well, and they're like, you know, core memories when you think back, and it's bittersweet because I talk to so many endurance athletes, so many collegiate athletes, and there's never that same high as being on a team like that, as having an experience like that. It really is something different. Yeah. And it's hard to replicate in other scenarios when you get older. So
that's another coach that was pretty hard on us. And I remember in high school, she would show up and maybe be in a bad mood. And like, I genuinely liked her, but she'd show up and be in a bad mood and we're like, oh God, like not today. Oh geez. But like now being her age and doing a full day of work and then going to coach kids and they don't want to listen to you, you're like, God, I really should have cut her some slack. Right. But like, she made us better 100%. And she made it fun for us. Yeah. Even though we ran a lot. Probably could have been a track star on that team.
Hey, we love a run coach.
Hey, she took us to states. What can you complain about on that? So
you just jumped ahead to my next question. You already beat me to it, but maybe it was this individual. But did you experience with hard coaching influence how you coach young girls now? So like, as hard as some of these coaches have been, have they formed some of the ways that you approach coaching in your own practice?
Yes. I definitely think that my coaching style is shaped by who I was coached by. Again, I understand not all kids receive constructive criticism the same way, but I am hard on them. Like, I am critiquing them. I am fundamentally saying, your hands are too low on your stick. We're not boys. Get them up. You know, like but I deliver it in a tone where I mean business. But if a kid has a question, I pull them to the side and say, listen, you know, we have to work on this, this, and this. Let me help you. Show up early to practice. Call me. I'll meet you on a Friday night for an hour.
And she does. I've seen her. She practices on the same field as my daughter. And I'm like, there she is, one-on-one coaching again.
Yeah. I mean, I set the expectation. And I even tell parents in our preseason, like when they come into tryouts, like if your daughter makes the team, fantastic. If I know you guys, it means we have a problem. Right. I don't really want to know you. Like, I want to get to know your daughters. I will.
Respectfully, I don't want to see your face.
Right. Respectfully, it's nice if we're just hi, bye, but like, you have to teach your daughters to advocate for themselves. And I do think that that's one thing that I wish would have been instilled in us a little bit more coming up. But like, give your daughters the voice now, and your kids in general. Give your kids the power, the voice, the confidence to go to a coach and say, why am I not playing? What can I work on? Yeah. Like,
because they're going to be doing it with a boss.
Right.
You know?
So it's kind of just like, start now. And I even, at where I coach now, I even tell them, like, they should start that in 4th grade.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I agree.
They should start as soon as you can.
I do it now with Emmy. I'm like, you know what? If you want something, you got to ask. If you feel like you were wronged, you got to say something.
Right.
Oh, and be ready to receive the feedback. Be ready for them to say, this is what you could do to get better. And then the responsibility is kind of yours to do the thing that they're suggesting to get better.
And that's one thing that I don't think I really got with my coaches. Like, you were yelled at and you were expected to take it on the chin and fix it going forward. And if you didn't, your consequence was sitting your butt on the bench and dealing with it, watching everybody else who decided to do it play over you.
We were made to be the goalie if we messed up. They were like, you forgot your mouth guard. You're the goalie in the next game.
Wait, that's the hardest. You wouldn't catch me offering to do that.
Do you know how many times I ended up as the goalie? Many times.
My dad did it to me one time in rec growing up, like 9, 10, because everybody had to play around a goal. The ball got stuck in my helmet, and I literally remember being like, Mom, never make him do that to me again.
I know. I remember crying behind the goalie helmet. I'm like, oh my God.
I never want to do that. I'm like jumping out of the way. Like, I was made to be an attacker.
We love you goalies, but God.
I respect the hell out of goalies.
Gonna switch a little bit into, like we said in the beginning, the evolution of youth sports then versus now. What has changed most about youth sports since you were a kid? And since I was a kid, we talk about this a lot, but what do you feel like has been like the biggest shift?
Again, I feel like you might know my answer because we talk about it all the time.
All the time.
The demand that these kids be doing something 24/7. Yeah. Soccer is a year-long sport. Lacrosse is a year-long sport, as much as that pains me to say. It's true. We've only made it fall, winter, spring, summer tournaments. Yeah. Like, field hockey, year-round. Like, give these kids a break, please, for the love of God.
Give them a summer. Come on.
Like, it is one thing to keep them in skills and drills and keep the stick in their hand every now and then, but they don't need to be doing soccer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lacrosse Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, flag football Friday. Like,
it's constant.
These kids are growing and it's hurting them.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about this the other day where I went to PT for the first time in my life at 38 years old. And even then I was like, I feel like I'm kind of young to be doing this. But I'm in there surrounded by like 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds. And I'm like, what on earth? I would have, for what?
Yeah.
They're already injured at that age. Or they're, to your point, they're sent there to specialize in something, or they're sent there to build strength or something. And it's like, I wasn't thinking at all in that direction at that age. Are you kidding me? I was swimming in the swimming pool.
Right. And listen, being a multi-sport athlete is great. I'm never going to knock a kid from being a multi-sport athlete. But it's the amount to what they're doing that sport in an off season per se.
Yeah.
We have a tournament this weekend for the NGLL. We made playoffs by the skin of our teeth because another team beat out another team. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We got there, we're in. But we don't have a tournament until June 1st. I'm giving my kids off next week and I'm getting eyeballs like, what?
Yes.
It's lacrosse season. Okay. Yeah. But a week off isn't the worst thing.
Oh my gosh. I very intentionally give Emmy time off in between activities, in between sports. Even if I get like multiple invites for birthday parties that are active on the weekend, I'm like, my girl is kind of like an introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
She needs the time to just like recover, and she needs time of rest. And I get poo-pooed for that. People are like, really? Like she's not doing back-to-back things. I'm like, am I doing it wrong? Like, what?
No. I train kids that are like, we got to be done at this time because we got a soccer game after this.
Yes.
And it's like,
what?
Are you going to go home and rest after it? Like, make sure you guys make sure you guys are, taking care of yourselves. And I constantly say it because every kid, no matter what age, is coming to me, this hurts.
Yes.
This hurts. And I'm like,
oh, and that's on top of growing pains that are happening anyway. So now
my kids are all, they're in 8th grade.
Yep. They're going through all the things.
And I keep telling them, like, listen, your bodies are changing. Oh my God, stop. And I'm like, but it's true.
Stay ready.
I'm like, I was your age once, ladies.
It's coming.
I was your age once. I know what's going on. So, like, you guys, like, injuries are going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, things are changing. You got to be on top of it. You got to be smart. And that's the other thing. I'm going to get off my soapbox in a second. But middle school's taking up teams now.
Yes.
So it's adding another thing to their plate on top of, it's another team to be on. Mm-hmm. It's another team to be on top of another team to be on, and it's a lot. And I think, I was telling you this yesterday, the burnout rate is like,
it's silly.
13 years old.
Yes. It's silly. Well, and you said that. There was just a statistic that you talk about where it's like 70% of kids have burnout before they're 13.
13. And it's probably higher at this point.
Like, that is when I remember, like, first appreciating sports. That was when it really shifted from, like, all right, this is fun. It's like a hobby to, oh, I might actually really be good at this. And now I'm going to push myself to try. Like, that was really the age at least that I could first remember, where it was like, all right, maybe I'll join club. But even club then was like not a thing.
Yeah, you weren't starting club until 6th grade. And even then you were kind of like, oh, middle school.
Yeah.
Right. But like, it's got to be the kid's decision.
Yeah.
It has to be the kid's decision.
And I mean, I told you the other day, but I was at Emmy's game and we were talking, all the parents amongst each other. And it is wild to me that they're already getting plucked off of teams. They're getting recruited out at 8 years old to go and play club. Emmy's poor team is dwindling, and they've got like 2 girls left that can score because everybody else has been plucked and gone to team, and the team is off of Falls Road. And I'm like, what? So I'm the crazy one because I don't want to drive to Falls Road every day.
Not just the drive.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, and not just the drive and the time commitment. It's the financial commitment.
Yes, like what? And I'm gonna, I'm
Get
gonna
up
be
there.
selfish.
Get on those soapbox.
I'm up on the box. But I also have a life, a social life. Like I also am active on the weekends. So selfishly, I'm not totally ready to give up my entire life so that I could be running to and from, multi-state for these tournaments each weekend. So I'm like, what?
Well, I hear it from my fiance. Are you going to be home this weekend? Like, when do I get to see you next? Like, what? I'm like, and I don't have a kid.
Yes. I don't even know how parents that have multiple kids do it.
No.
Because, when do you actually see each other, really? Especially if you get past 2 kids. Like, what are you doing?
I feel for them.
I watch it happen, and I'm like, how are they pulling this off? It's crazy.
Carpool's a beautiful thing.
Let's see. What are parents chasing? Oh, God, we're going to get all of the heat for this. I forgot that I put this one down. Last night, Laura was very heated about this topic. What are parents chasing when they push club sports so early? Do you think it's scholarships, status, security? Like, what do you think it is that is this push to get them in club earlier and earlier?
The number one reason that I hear.
Here we go, everybody.
The number one reason that has been said to me is her friends are doing it.
Yeah. It's the pressure of everyone else. Mm-hmm.
And they get to wear the gear that says Coppermine or NEMS or Skywalkers. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that will all still be there when she's a little bit older.
Right.
But if you're going to pump these kids into club right now, you're missing out on those developmental years of rec.
Yes.
You are missing out on the fundamentals. And
honestly, what are rec programs anymore? Honestly,
they're dwindling,
they're really not
and
there.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It is really sad.
Yeah.
As my dad started Churchville Rec for the girls' side. The boys' side was already established. And last time I checked, there is none over there anymore.
It's wild.
And he was upset. He was distraught.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean? And I was like, Dad, club is scooping up teams.
I know. It's
and
sad.
Kids. I mean, I think I saw a flyer the other day for, I know where
we will literally pay you to come in and be on
the newest graduation year is 2035.
It's sad. Sad times.
It's crazy.
Because I have such fond memories of rec sports, and there's just, it's getting
walking
to be
in the parade,
yes.
and, just going and fooling around with your friends and soccer, lacrosse, basketball. That's where you develop your love for the sport, I think, because it's low commitment, but you're on the team, you're developing your fundamentals, you're learning the game, you're there to learn and have fun and be on a team.
Maybe get a Flintstones push pop at the end. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what it was really about.
Hey, there's food trucks now.
I know.
These kids get anything
they are so bougie now.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
But, please bring rec back, whoever's listening to this and can help.
Bring back rec programs. If not for the kids, for us.
Yeah.
Let's just participate in them for a day. Gonna move into early specialization and burnout, another topic that you and I spend entirely too much time talking about. But why are you so passionate about kids not specializing too early?
Burnout.
Yeah.
Definitely burnout. I think, certain sports require different skills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so soccer, all foot.
Yep.
What about your hand-eye?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not like math where you're like, oh, I'm doing the, hypothesis for this or whatever the heck it is. A squared, B squared equals C squared. I don't use that, okay?
I don't know that anymore.
But I need my hand-eye coordination for daily things.
Right.
I just think it's developing the whole kid.
Yeah.
In different sports.
Yeah.
Footwork, whether it's hand-eye, whether it's just social skills.
Yes.
Well, with different kids.
And God forbid, like, you don't want to define them. No. If they do get an injury that impacts their foot, then I guess they're done. No. Like, if you don't specialize, then you can move into something different while you're healing.
Or you're not saying in the 7th grade, like, I think I want to try lacrosse for the first time. Now that club demand has been built up and built up. These kids have been playing together for years, and it's like, your only option is this.
Yeah.
You're not going to make the team.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
So.
We could talk about this all day. What do you think specialization robs kids of?
Experiences.
Yeah.
Like, as a whole, I think, just changing pace a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they get to, they might be really, really good at this sport, but they never know because they never tried it.
Right.
Just let them try it.
You never know what you don't know.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So.
I tell you, I was on one when I typed these questions.
Oh my God.
All right. Another one. We're coming in hot. Are we seeing stronger athletes or more fragile ones because of year-round single sport training?
Capital F as in fragile?
Yes.
God.
Our kids be broken.
And it's sad. It hurts. Like, I have kids, like, that are some of my best players. And, I can't do anything because it's like a ongoing thing. Mm-hmm. And, they don't really get the day to rest. They have to now be like, okay, I have to skip this in order to rest. And it's unfortunate.
And I can't believe how many kids I encounter where they're like, oh, I have PT today after school. I'm like, well, aren't you like 9? What do you mean? PT for what?
It's unreal.
Oh, hamstring. Oh, like a Achilles. I'm like, what is happening?
Knees are bad.
Yes.
Like
it's wild.
I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen it a couple times, not with kids I've coached directly. One case in Long Island when I was coaching up there after school, like the girl was in middle school, I think 7th or 8th grade, went on to play college ball, but she tore her ACL in middle school.
Like, what?
And it's like, kids are tearing that in middle school?
It's
like
insane.
I mean, I see a couple of them now. I've talked to a few parents, like, and when something like that happens, the push to come back grows.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you want to be able to walk right for the rest of your life? Or do you want to push back to play in this lacrosse game that you might not remember 20 years down the line?
Well, and it's a knock to the confidence, which is what, you have a lot of parents coming to you for, is the confidence piece.
Yeah.
Well, like, how much confidence does somebody lose when they get injured that early and they have to sit on bench and watch all their friends play? You can handle that a lot better when you're an adult than when you're,
Also, I've seen full-on college kids tear their ACL and crash out, as the kids say.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being 10, 11, 12, 13 and tearing that and what that looks like mentally.
No.
No, thank you.
No.
Fortunately, I never had to deal with any of that, but, like, I've had little aches and pains. I've been in a boot and all that stuff, but never a tear.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't even fathom it.
It's become a norm now, which is just wild. This was a big one just because I feel like it's so important for parents to be able to pick up on this. But what does burnout look like in kids before they even realize they're burned out?
At practice, it's easier to spot as a coach.
Right.
You're critiquing them on certain things, and it's a kid that might have been a little bit coachable before. It's just, she's flatlined. Yeah, she's checked out. You're talking, and she's, fooling around with the ball on the ground, or she's looking somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You give an instruction, and you've given it 4 times already this practice and it's not changing, she's checked out, she's done. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, you can pull her aside and have a conversation with her, which you should do. Try to get a feel for what's going on, but that's kind of how I know. I also give my kids practice logs to fill out during the week just to see, like, we have an hour and a half 2 times a week. So we get 3 hours a week basically to practice. If you're telling me that you want to be the best or your best, are you putting in extra work outside of practice to get to that level?
Right.
So when I pull their logs, I'll do random log checks, and I see a kid hasn't filled out anything for the month of
God, I'm sweating for the kid that
April.
hasn't filled out their log. That would have been me.
I forgot it at home. I'm like, that's still... Do you tell your teacher that? Like, when you don't do your... Like, my mom has it. Okay, well, if you don't turn your homework in, does your teacher talk to your mom about why she has it, or you why your mom has it?
Yeah.
Again, working on having those hard conversations.
And you hold the entire team accountable. So if one person forgets the log, everybody's going for a run, if I understand it
everybody.
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a team mentality. One person still has their jewelry on. Guess what? You all might as well have left your jewelry on.
Yeah.
There's a consequence.
I love it.
You're going to learn together.
I love it.
So.
I love it. Let's see. I want to talk a little bit about confidence development. You've said parents, and we've talked about this, touched on it a couple of times throughout, but you've said parents are asking you to coach confidence now, not just skills. So why do you think that is? Be nice now. Be nice.
I think it is the push to club too early.
Yeah.
You know, yes, you can say you're working on the fundamentals at a club level, but it definitely looks different than the rec level.
Right.
Now you have paid coaches who are coming in and they have a certain expectation of what this is going to look like. And quite frankly, if you don't get on that level, what do they do next time the team tryouts come around?
Right.
They cut you.
Yeah.
So why aren't we giving that constructive criticism throughout the year on, hey, what are you doing at home? Check in with them. What are you doing at home? You know, I had to check in with a kid last year who stick work was just not getting better. And I said, what are you doing at home? And it was like throwing it in the air and catching it. And I was like, time out.
Right.
Like, check on these kids and what they're doing at home. And if you want to facilitate what they're doing at home, I put wall ball videos on YouTube. I tell my kids, if you need a wall ball routine, they're on YouTube for you to watch.
Yeah.
That was not please do not go and watch them. They're cringy.
We're going to go and watch them.
So
Immediately.
old.
Immediately.
They're so old. But, like, they're there. You can use them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't even remember what your question was. I just went off.
I blacked out. I stroked out.
Sorry.
Can confidence actually be coached, or is it earned through struggle and repetition?
A little bit of both.
I agree.
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are parents accidentally... Again, Laura, wow. Are parents accidentally interfering with confidence building by over-managing their kids' sports experience? Oh.
Yeah, probably a little bit of interference. Yeah.
And I feel like it's well-intended by a lot of parents. I feel like they're trying to make sure that their kids have a better experience than what they had.
Yeah. I don't think parents have, truthfully, any ill intent when they're doing all this.
No.
And I'm sure the kids at the time are like, yeah, I want to do that. What my friends are doing that. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. But, like, we need to use our whole brains here and kind of, okay, like, does this make sense?
Yeah.
When is she going to have her off day?
Yeah.
Like, when is she going to be able to
a scheduled rest. Like, put that in the schedule just like you do everything else.
Yeah. And let her be a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Let her be a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let him be a kid. Let any kid be a kid.
I agree.
So.
Bring back recess at home. Let's see. What foundational experiences create real confidence in young athletes?
I give my kids tall tasks. I give them stuff that we were asked to do as college kids.
Yeah.
And I give them a goal and I say, I give it to you because I know you guys can get there.
Yeah.
And I think giving them a goal that they have to work to obtain gives them that, like, oh my God, I could do that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as, like, for my kids, like, doing a behind the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, these are the mechanics, teach them to them. Like, yeah, you may be in 5th grade, let's run through some shots. And they nail it. The smile, I just got goosebumps. The smile on those kids' faces when they nail that, it's like, see, you can do it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I remember it just for whatever reason, like triggered this memory in me. But I remember when Emmy was pretty young, I was sitting next to her and my mom was sitting on the other side and Emmy was doing a puzzle. And I laugh thinking about it now, but I wanted her to know that I was there. If she really needed help, I'm there. I will help you with the puzzle, even though I loathe puzzles. Please don't send another puzzle, Aunt Bethany. Please don't send another puzzle.
Puzzles are terrible.
I know. Bane of my existence. But I am there to help her. And I remember a moment where my mom was like, why aren't you helping her? Why aren't you showing her where to put that? And I was like, because I know that she has the skills to figure it out. And if for some reason she really does get to a point where she just doesn't know the next piece, I'm here. And she knows I'm here. I'm sitting right here. But I also wanted to know how capable she is without my interference. Like both can be true. You can maybe need help later, but also know you've got this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure that I'm giving you tasks that prove it.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is a tough one. And I feel like this is really important for parents to hear because it's hard to know. I am also a parent of an athlete. So this is tough for me even. But where's the line between supporting your child and controlling their sports journey?
Your kid has to want to do that and then support them. Have your kid be, instead of saying, you better get outside and do your stick work today, let your kid kind of be like, I think I'm going to go outside and do stick work today. I'm going to take my phone out, put my AirPods in, listen to some music. I think parents maybe sometimes maybe watch some practices and don't watch others.
Yeah.
Maybe split it up a little bit because, if your kid gets an expectation that you're sitting there watching her every move and that makes her anxious, then she's not playing for her, she's playing for you.
Right. Yeah.
So, let her go on her own a little bit. Let her see what that looks like without mom being there and, how does that look? How does she feel? Ask her questions about practice and what she learned afterwards and that kind of thing. Open the dialogue with the support, but don't always be within eyesight. Yeah.
And I think that dialogue is a big one because I think it was like Dr. Becky or something, which my algorithm clearly is dictating my life right now. But Dr. Becky, I think, had said something to the effect of like, even when they come home with artwork or they finish a game, rather than being like, I thought that went really well. Even if it's good feedback, they might not have thought that it went well.
Yeah.
So instead of, telling them how it went or telling them how they should feel, ask them like, how do you feel like the game went? If they feel like they didn't do their best, what do you think you could have done better to improve for next time? Don't be the one that's dictating what they could have done better because they might not agree or they might have felt like they did give their entire best and your best looks maybe different from your kid's best and that's okay. But I do think it's important to have it be a collaborative conversation with them versus like, because who wants to leave the field having lost a game and be like, oh, my dad's going to be so upset with me. Stu.
I love my dad, but that was you.
I think it's a much better lesson learned if they instill in themselves that they're upset because they know that they gave 80% rather than 100. Yeah. That hits a little harder. And it does take a little bit more self-control, I think, to have a conversation like that. But I do think it lands a little better. And I think it's more long-lasting that way.
After every individual lesson that I give, I tell the kids, this is your homework. And then when I walk them up to mom and dad after the lesson, tell mom and dad what your homework is in front of me.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you were listening.
Yeah.
And I want to hear what you're going to tell them.
Yeah.
Because this is a group effort. We're all you are our goal.
Yep.
And you came to me with a confidence goal and wanting to learn more. So now mom's invested, dad's invested, I'm invested. We all need to be on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Advocate for yourself.
Pretty much.
Let's see. Back to this point. You intentionally limit parent communication because you want athletes to advocate for themselves. Why is that so important? And I feel like we've said it already, but I feel like we really need to drive this home is like it's advocating for yourself isn't just in sport, it's in life.
Yeah, it's a life lesson.
Yeah.
Give your daughter a voice now so that when it comes to the hard stuff later, she's already found it.
Right.
And she's not trying to find it.
Yeah.
She knows what it looks like to advocate for herself, and she knows what it looks like to, be in charge of her life.
Yes.
And her expectations and all.
Yeah. And that one's huge for me now with Emmy, because I did not have that voice for myself. And God love them, my parents were kind of the helicopter parents, and for all the right reasons, I'm sure. Like, they really did kind of do the best with the tooling that they had at the time. But I am now 39 years old, for the first time learning how to advocate for myself, learning how to say what I want and don't want in my life.
Right.
Like, what? So don't rob your kids of the opportunity to have that voice sooner, because I will tell you firsthand, when you're doing it as an adult, it is so freaking hard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 30 years old calling my mom being like, what do I say?
Right.
Like, she's like, what do you mean? What do I say to him?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. And same, I was, navigating really big life challenges, and I'm finding myself calling my parents. What do I do? What should I say? Or how should I feel? And it's like, they're such different people than you. So
I don't know about you
calling
either.
them.
My mom's response is, I don't know. You're the only one that knows everything.
Oh, no. My mom tells me what to do.
My mom's like,
very
you're the only one who knows the whole situation.
Yeah.
What is your gut telling you? And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I haven't learned to trust that thing yet. No, I'm just kidding.
My mom's like, you're going to do what? Sounds very impulsive. I'm like, what? Okay. I'll do what you say.
My mom will do a follow-up call. So how'd it go? And I'm like, everything we talked about went out the window. I fell apart. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. We talked about how that kind of translates to adulthood, but do you think sports may be one of the best classrooms for learning hard conversations? I feel like that was the dumbest question I could have come up with.
No, but I think that goes back to Mr. Steven Speck. He literally said that.
Shout out to our guy, Steven Speck. Mantis Speck.
That was one of my favorite quotes from his episode was, sports, organized sports, youth sports is the best classroom for our children.
Yeah,
And
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So, shout out Steven.
This one is wild to me, because when you first told me this, I was like, oh my God, I'm so not ready for this soon. But your 8th graders are already getting recruiting folders. What was your reaction when you first saw that?
I read it on a meeting agenda, and I did a double take. And I was like,
sorry, what?
And I sat with it for a second, and I understand the sentiment. It is very nice. It is, and it the book starts in 7th grade, actually. But it's just like basically getting your junior honor society stuff and that kind of thing. But you give that to a kid, and the look on their faces were all like...
Right, like it's supposed to be an honor, but can you imagine the pressure at that age?
So I literally looked at them and I said, file it away. We're not even looking at it. Like, the book is great. A local mom and daughter duo wrote it as they went through the recruiting process. I think it's fantastic. But I got kids who don't even know what sport they actually want to play tomorrow. Right.
Can you imagine if you had to commit to something in 8th grade, like what you would have done in anything? No. Not just sports, but just made any decision in 8th grade.
I'm 30 and I struggle.
I know.
Like, I literally told them, like, this is not to scare you, okay? This is a tool that you can use later down the line. Like, you do not have to know what you want to do right now. And I think some of them, like, okay, a little sigh of relief. But, handing them that booklet, some kids turned white. And during the presentation, they're looking at me like, what? And I'm like, you don't have to have it figured out.
No, and there's so much beauty in not having it figured out. Yeah. Like that, figuring out what you don't want is just as important as figuring out the things that you want. So I feel like when we're asking them to decide what they want, without having experienced what they don't like, we are robbing them of that experience.
Like their whole thing right now is like 8th grade dance dresses. And I love hearing their little side conversations about like, oh, what's your theme? And what's your theme? And I got my dress and we all went dress shopping this weekend. Like I get like a little warm hug of emotion when they're talking about that. I was like, I skipped mine to go to a lacrosse championship.
Oh my God, of course you did. Still.
It was a viewer. It was like Maryland was playing Northwestern, I think.
Okay,
and
that's acceptable.
But my aunts took me. I bought 5 dresses, didn't wear a single one. Shout out to my aunts who are really great. But like, I just, I look at them and I'm like, yeah, you are only 13 and 14 years
and
old.
it's like core memories. And like the first time that they have like interaction with boys and they think that boys are cute.
I'm hearing all about the boyfriends right now. I'm like, no, you don't have a boyfriend. You don't have a boyfriend.
Yes.
And I just want them to live in that.
Let simple times be simple.
Yeah. It's just, it was so wholesome.
Yes.
And so innocent.
Yes. Well, you kind of answered my next question is what would you change about youth recruiting if you could?
Yeah, just like don't do it. Let the kids decide.
Exactly.
Let the kids decide what they want to do. Like they shouldn't have to club hop every year because, you know, just let them come to you with what they want to do.
Yeah.
Let them advocate for themselves with you, mom and dad.
Yes.
Let them try it.
Yeah. How do you protect joy in an environment built around performance?
I think again this comes back to building the team and having, you know, my job as the coach is to set them up for success, be hard on them, develop their skills. The job of your teammates is to pick you up when I'm being hard on you. Yeah. If you're having a tough day at practice, sure, you can turn to me and ask me what you can fix, but you could turn to your teammates and be like, hey, you got this. I guarantee you she'll turn around and cheer for you the next time.
Yeah.
Your teammates need to be that lean on support system for you.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's see. We're going to take a hard shift now because I feel like we've done all of the trashing of youth sports.
Trust me. Hey, I have a job through it. And again, people, I am not a parent, so you can literally tell me to kick rocks. But I have been in enough programs where I've seen it across the board.
Yeah.
At different extents. But this is just my opinion.
Yeah. Hard shift because, well, by the time this episode airs, Mother's Day will have passed. However, I want to kind of bring this full circle because anyone who's been tuned into the Grit File since the beginning, Morgan's mom was actually one of our guests. So we talked about Morgan's mom's story, but we did not get Morgan's perspective. So want to go a little bit to the personal side for just a minute before we close. But outside of coaching, you're helping care for your mom as she waits for a lung transplant and recovers from cancer. So how has that changed your perspective on pressure and priorities?
I couldn't stress this enough with my kids. Family is always going to be first.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit more of a balancing act, but no matter what, I made it very clear with my parents and the kids that, like, if something comes up, she comes first.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is just a sport.
Yeah.
This is just a hobby.
Yes.
This is just another thing that you do to put on the calendar. This is not the end all be all.
Yeah. There's legacy outside of sport.
Yeah.
For sure. What has caregiving for your mom taught you that sports never could?
I feel like I have a kid sometimes with her. So maybe I am a little bit more of a parent than I thought. You know, as much as I'm there to support her, I also am going to be tough on her.
Yeah.
Like, are you doing what the doctors are saying? You don't get away with anything now that I go to everything.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, you know, accountability.
Yeah.
Holding her accountable and that kind of thing. But I think it's also brought out a little bit more of a gentler side of me and a little bit more understanding. But I think the biggest thing is just, you know, you can't get back your, like, health is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So.
Has walking through your mom's health journey changed the way that you coach young athletes based on your mom's involvement with you?
Yeah, I do have a little bit more cheerleader in my coaching. Like, I had a kid that scored her first goal on Sunday. I was up, yes! Oh my God! Like,
yeah.
You think my dad was out there doing that one?
Absolutely not.
That's what's expected. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, no, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, no, I think, you know, being their coach, but also being their cheerleader, I'll say a famous Laura, both things can be true.
Yes, it's true. In most things.
Yeah. So
I love that part of your journey, and I feel like so many people need to know that because that's kind of everyone. Everyone's experiencing some level of hard that you're not seeing.
Yeah.
So when that tone comes across, like, you never know kind of what the origin of that is.
Right.
Morgan may have come from taking her mom to an appointment that day that her mom might not have told her all the details about, which
that's happened.
has happened.
Yeah.
What do you hope that youth sports still protects in kids?
Their innocence.
Yes.
Their ability to just be a kid and have fun doing something that's not in the classroom or, you know, something they're told to do. This should be a want. This should be a want to do kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
if you could speak directly to every sports parent listening right now, easy, what would you want them to hear?
at the end of the day, youth sports is not the Olympics.
Yeah.
If you have a kid who doesn't really want to do said sport anymore, that's okay. Let them finish out the season and move on.
Yeah.
They can be happy doing other things.
Yeah.
I very much think, you know, let them come to you, but give them the ability to have a voice. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Let them
Let
be
them
kids.
be an artist.
Yeah.
Let them be.
I want to quit for piano. Okay, that's fine. You're going to finish out the season due
Yeah.
to your commitment, but we can give that a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Closing out with a big one. If you could speak to your younger self on the lacrosse field, what would you tell her? Baby Morgan.
I was kind of a smart ass when I was little.
Listen, you little shit.
Better button up. You will land where you were supposed to land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Endure the hard now because it will only make everything easier in the long run.
Yeah.
I really do feel that the way that I was coached and all of that really did set me up for success. And I know that's not what people want to hear because having grown men scream at you sometimes is like people are looking at me like, that is not the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe for you. And that's, again, going back to everybody learns different. But I do think that made me ready for anything I've experienced in my 20s.
Yeah. I mean, even take it back to your mom's health journey, but like that experience in sports hardened you a little bit so that you didn't fall apart when you got the news about your mom and have to be present for these appointments with your mom. Like there's a part of you that has to remain kind of hardened in order to just navigate day-to-day life, or else can you imagine? I feel like we could talk about this all day, and we do. Outside of the Grit Files, we spend a lot of time talking about this, so I thought that the world was finally ready to hear all of the knowledge from Morgan Knox. So Morgan, thank you for being a part of the Grit Files, and you're going to continue to see Morgan because she's the one that produces all of our beautiful things. But this has been the Grit Files. I'm your host, Laura Reynolds, signing off.